Hello, good morning, or good evening. Whenever you are watching this, I hope you are doing well. My name is Catherine, and today we are doing my October reading wrap-up. In the month of October, I read quite a few books, and no, they weren't all just romance. They were mostly romances, or had some sort of romance element to them, but they weren't all just romances. And for that, I'm pretty proud of. I am still on my no ratings given kick. We'll see how long it lasts, but let's just dive right into things. In the month of October, I read a total of 11 books. Of those 11 books, 3 were physical, 4 were ebooks, and 4 were audiobooks. Genre-wise, I read 5 contemporary romances, 1 young adult, 3 dark romances. I'm saying they're dark romances. That was the vibe. 1 paranormal fantasy realism new adult thing, and 1 fantasy rom-com. I don't know how to judge genres. I think I'm just gonna go in the order that I read them. That feels the most logical to me. So the first book that I read in the month of October was All the Feels by Olivia Dade. Oh, I have this. This book comes out now in November sometime. I honestly don't even know when, but it's coming out in November as opposed to October when this was supposed to come out. I did a whole reading vlog where I read this book, so if you want to see my more in-depth thoughts, go ahead and check that out. There's a couple other books in here in that reading vlog, so I will definitely mention them. This is the sequel to, spoiler alert, this is one of my favorite books now. It follows Alex, who is the star of a very popular TV show, Game of Thrones-like TV show, and he gets in a lot of trouble, and he gets assigned a handler named Lauren, and romance. I absolutely love their relationship. I love Alex. He is so sweet and so just caring and needs to be protected at all cost. I love Lauren. She is the type of character who will just take care of anyone and everyone before herself. Lauren will do anything and everything to protect those around her, and it often results in her not thinking about herself and her own needs. I love the characters, their development, their growth, them working on their own personal traumas, both separate and together, and they just really bring out the best in each other, and it is just so good. It is a slow burn. It has only one bed. There was only one bed, and it plays off of a lot of really popular fanfic tropes. And it talks a lot about fan fiction, which is just fantastic. Next, I read 3 Simple Rules by Nikki Sloan. This book was everything I wanted Beautiful Bastard, which I read last month, everything I wanted it to be, and it was so good. I did not expect to get as emotional during this book as I did. I should tell you what this book is about. Our main character, Evelyn, makes a mistake at work, and she has to try and come up with $10,000 in order to make up for the mistake. In order to make up those $10,000, she does one night of work at a club that her friend works at called the Blindfold Club. Yeah, it's very good. It is an office place romance. We have Evelyn and technically he's her boss, her manager. What I really liked about this one over Beautiful Bastard was it never felt like the power dynamic was gross. It didn't have a weird power imbalance, and I honestly really appreciated it. I love their chemistry. It is very spicy. I just had a lot of fun while reading it. Next, the YA I read was Curvy Girls Can't Date Quarterbacks by Kelsey Stelting. I didn't love this one. I really wanted to enjoy it, but it definitely felt younger. And while I still enjoy YA, this one definitely felt a bit more juvenile than some of the other YA that I've read. It's about a plus-size girl who recently gets diagnosed with PCOS, and she ends up making a bet with the popular girl at school that she can get the quarterback to date her. She joins forces with a group of other plus size girls at the school. It's a very sweet, beautiful, like, female friendship until about halfway through, when just kind of shit hits the fan, as they tend to do in YA. There's just a lot of things that didn't make sense. It, again, started out with, like, a really great female friendship, and then her friends just kind of sucked. Yeah, and the school was really just unrealistic about certain things. I don't know. Also, the love interest was just boring. He was so bland. Yeah, so I liked the overall message that it had, and I thought that it hit a lot of really great points, but I just didn't really like the execution of it. Next, I read The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. This is the third book in the series. I don't know, the sequel to Kiss Quotient Bride Test. This is another book that I had in the reading vlog with all the feels. And while I did really enjoy it, I think it is definitely kind of miscategorized as a romance book. There's romance, it's there, but it definitely focuses a lot more on our main character's journey and her kind of like standing up for herself and figuring things out about herself. And it was great. I really loved it. I loved the writing. It wasn't what I was expecting when I picked up a romance book, you know? I also didn't love how quickly everything wrapped up at the end. Like, the vibe from, like, the beginning until, like, basically the 75% mark was very different than the vibe in the last 25% mark. I would also definitely look up trigger warnings, because there's some heavy stuff in this one, and I loved it. But yeah, it's not really a romance, even though it is technically classified as a romance. That being said, I still loved Stella. I loved Quan, the love interest. Yeah, it was very good. It definitely had me crying at like midnight at one point. Again, check out that video for more. Finally, the last book that was in that reading vlog was A Lot Like Odes by Alexis Daria. I loved this one. This is one of those books where I liked it almost more than the first book. I enjoyed the first book. I like this one more. It's a friends to lovers romance between two friends who haven't seen each other in the like 10 plus years. They used to be best friends, and then something happened and they haven't spoken to each other since they graduated high school. Now they're brought back together in a working environment, but they do a lot more than working. I think the two of them just had such great chemistry, and it was so fun and funny, and like, while it definitely had the like emotional pull to it, it was a lot more lighthearted. That is for sure. Next, I listened to The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. This is one that I have had on my TBR for a very long time. It is about Leon, who needs someone to share his flat. The thing is that there's only one room, there's only one bed, but they won't be sharing the bed at the same time. He's a nurse who works nights, and Tiff, the person who answers the advertisement. Sure. Tiff ends up taking him up on the she works days. So they have like set hours of when they're allowed to be in the flat, and they start like leaving each other notes and getting to know each other through these notes. Tiff is also dealing with the fact that she was in a like very abusive relationship for a long time. Again, check trigger warnings on this one, because like it's very fun, very lighthearted, and then it's not. I did love the like notes back and forth that Tiffy and Leon left for each other. I thought that was a really cool device of how they got to know each other. That's sort of like pen pals, but also like they're learning about each other because they live in the same space, and so they're like, oh, she likes sweets, he likes this, blah blah blah. It's very cute. I think Tiffy definitely had the potential to be a very like not like other girls type person, or not really that. She had very Jessica Day vibes to her, which wasn't bad, but it was something. I don't really know my feelings on it, but I thought she was a lot of fun. And again, overall, just had a really fun time. It was very sweet. The next book that I read was Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This book is going to be a part of a bigger vlog in the future, hopefully, if I ever get through the other books that are for this vlog. But it's for a different vlog, so I'm not going to talk too much about it because it is for said future vlog, and I want y'all to be excited for that. Overall, I really loved it. I mean, I'm such a Leigh Bardugo stan. The fact that I hadn't read this yet is like, what have I been doing? I definitely went in like kind of hesitant because I've heard a lot of mixed things. I feel like people either really love this book or really don't like it. I think it's definitely different than the Grishaverse, which is what has people like, whoa, what? I didn't expect it to be so paranormal heavy. Also, again, this one, for sure check trigger warnings because there's a lot. This book is heavy. It's a lot. I even had moments where I just set it aside because it was just like, oh, this is, yeah. Whew. My initial thoughts are that Leigh Bardugo does the thing where she just kind of throws you in and is like, sink or swim, good luck figuring everything out, which I personally really enjoy because it doesn't mean there's all these like info dumping at the beginning, and I feel like for me personally it makes the story go by really fast. I know for some people that makes it drag because they don't know what's going on, which very fair, very valid feelings. I personally really like that about Leigh Bardugo's writing. I thought it was really cool with the like secret societies. I really love the main character Alex. She's very, very unlikable, very like very Jude Duarte from The Cruel Prince. She has those kinds of vibes to her where she's like, she's gonna do what she has to do to survive and to take care of herself. Yeah, so more thoughts to come. Then these final 4 books are all books that I recently posted a reading vlog for, which was for Smutween. Again, you can check out that video there for more in-depth thoughts and feelings. It's very long. I don't know why it's so long, but it is. The first book that I read for that was Games We Play by Diana Isley. It was a very short novella. I liked it, but I wanted more. I feel like if it had been longer, I would have enjoyed it a lot more because I was very compelled by the characters and the writing and the just the overall plot. But because it was so short, I wasn't able to connect to everyone as much as I wanted to. And I'm very interested in like the side characters, things like that. So I wish it was longer. I wish it was like a full book. Then I read Neon Gods by Katie Roberts. Long awaited. Finally read it. I've been meaning to read this book for so long, and I finally did it, and I'm now obsessed. It's a Hades and Persephone retelling, which a sucker for that, and it's everything I wanted A Touch of Darkness to be. If you remember me talking about A Touch of Darkness, you know, not the biggest fan of that one. Hades, he's hard exterior, soft boy on the inside. Persephone, I really like this iteration of Persephone where she's like really learning to take what she deserves in this world and not letting other people walk all over her. I thought that the world was just really cool overall, and I really enjoyed it. Speaking of newest obsessions, my newest obsession, this book I think everyone ever should read. It is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. This book, it's a fantasy rom-com. There's road trip vibes, there's fated mates, reluctant allies. It's so cheesy and so funny. Just, it had me literally laughing out loud. It was hilarious. And after reading some dark romances, it was something I definitely needed. It's so fun. If you need a fun fantasy rom-com, this is it. It has modern slang and lingo, and it might have a Hamilton reference in it. I'm so sorry. But it's so good. It's so good. Please read this book. I will not shut up about it. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. The final book that I read in the month of October. I did not end on a strong note, unfortunately. Should have just ended with the other one, but here we are. It was Scream for Us by Molly Doyle. Best thing I can say about this book is not to yuck anyone's yum, but it was not for me. It's about a girl. She meets some guys on Halloween night. They're all dressed as like psycho killers, and they might actually be psycho killers. Again, a novella. It's only like 80 pages long. So if you want to add to your, reading goal of the year, you can. No. There's murder, there's arson, there's more murder, there's very dubious consent. Yeah, did not end it on a high note this month. Those are all of the books that I read in the month of October. Please let me know what your favorite book was in October. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you plan on reading any of these books, and why the book that you are going to read is That One Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit subscribe. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, bye!